What's cracking, people? It's your man, Cousin T, aka the Alpha Wingman, representing high level technicians operating globally and beyond. So, listen, today I wanted to highlight something that I observed, and this is just something that adds to the sort of list of observations that select men have on a regular basis that other men who may not have been shown certain aspects of navigating through life, and in particular, navigating the language of women. Now, shout out goes to Master Teacher BGS because he produced a series of videos that were responses to a back and forth that he had with the 92 Octane on a hangout, and he was obviously presenting some very, observable reality that presented evidence for his argument. Clear as day, but what happened was, while I'm driving, listening to his series of responses, I'm nodding my head. I'm like, yep, absolutely, absolutely, that's correct. This is clear evidence. And then all of a sudden, I hear this one thing, and I damn near have to pull over, because in one of his presentations, there was an audio clip from one of the interviews that K. Michelle did at a radio station. And while the clip made BGS's point in response to, the bigger conversation that he was having, there was also something that was mentioned in this clip that a lot of select men can relate to. And I'm going to play the clip really quickly to see if people catch what fell out. She says something that she didn't really mean to say when she was going on her tirade, or when she was just trying to stream this consciousness. Now, when I play this clip, keep in mind that she is speaking through her marketing representative. Remember in the video, I'll link that down below, how women have two different representatives. They've got their marketing representative that they present to the public, and they've got their sexual representative that only certain men get access to in private. Okay, so when I heard this,
I'm going to speak and say how I feel. This submission stuff with Fantasia, I'm not submitting to nothing but my bag and my kids and my career. I will submit. There is no submission without a mission. There has to be a mission. These men don't have mission.
I was like, where have I heard this before? Stay sharp and mission focused. Later. 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 Gentlemen, we can go back and forth all day presenting whatever we'd like to regarding what qualifies a man as select or even pre-select. But the fact is, the world will always present evidence. And as much as women like K. Michelle, who on paper, she's got a degree, she's, was briefly at law school, she comes from a pedigree of civil rights activists and things like that. Even though she has the pedigree of a 92 Octane, her bag, so to speak, or what she gets paid for, what she was made famous for, was portraying an 87 Octane and playing to 85 Octane culture. Now, that particular mask can only last for so long. And what happens is, when a woman like that is in the space of a select man, those masks come off. And there are certain conversations that happen only with men who are capable of bringing out what is truly on a woman's mind are privy to. And being mission focused is one of those conversations. After most women, no matter what her octane is, above 89, let me put it that way, 89s, 92s, 100 octanes, when they are with a guy, and you've seen, K Michelle's Cat Facts, she's been with actors, athletes, multimillionaires, okay, and even some MTUs or Masters of the Universe briefly. When they're done getting it on, when a woman has been well fucked, let me just put it that way, by a select man, there are certain conversations that they have. This is called pillow talk. All right. We know what pillow talk is, but when you are having pillow talk with a woman of a certain stature and you are a man who is mission focused, the verbiage gets exchanged. And so a woman like that listens to a man of a certain stature and wants to be a part of his mission. For whatever reason, she was not compatible with those men who she felt had missions. And part of her anger, or whatever you want to call it, disappointment in certain men, is the fact that she didn't qualify for whatever their mission was at the time. And so she comes from, and she mentioned in her interview, she comes from a dad and a grandfather. So she comes from a lineage of men who were mission focused. So that's what she looks for subconsciously. Whereas her marketing rep has to sell Jack Daniels. Her marketing rep has to sell Love and Hip Hop. Her marketing rep has to sell dysfunctional relationships and has to be around certain men who bring out trauma, bring out dysfunction, so that she can have a product to sell to a culture that is built on dysfunction. So when in the select manosphere, we have these discussions about bettering yourself. When we sit down and we listen to content creators like C Boogie tell these great war stories about he got men whipped into shape and about how their uniforms had to be pressed and how that translated over into the real world, or how image is important with content creators like Kevin Samuels, how a man image allows him to navigate through certain spaces, but it allows him to express who he is. When we look at content creators such as Ron Wills, who talks about masculine mastery, who talks about men exploring and developing who they are sexually, physically, and from a charisma standpoint, so that they have the best presentation for a woman. We are talking about a collective mindset of men who have the experience with many different women on many different levels. And the sum total of our knowledge is being gathered in this space to be passed on to the men who are select and who are pre-select, and the young men who'd like to be successful, not only in their journey, not only in life, but with the type of women that are desirable, the type of women who only go for men who have a mission, men who are purpose driven, men who are bettering themselves. And that's why this space has to set itself apart from other spaces, because this is where truth lives. If you want to be straight up and honest, we can bring data, we can bring anecdotal information, we can bring our own experiences. But if you're not of the mindset, if you're not in that space to want to learn from this, to want to take the value of a space like this away and apply it in whatever portion of your life that you can, that's all right. That's fine. View it as entertainment and keep moving on. For everybody else, gather round, get ready, because there is much more to come in the near future here in the Select Manosphere. As always, you know what's coming next. This is your man, Cousin T, aka the Alpha Wingman, saying, stay sharp and mission focused. Later.